Hey guys, so a new video out today, and I want to talk about a new phone review, new phone that I want to be reviewing, and maybe some of you might be looking at currently, and it is the iPhone 8 Plus. How does this hold up in 2026? Now, of course, the iPhone 8 Plus has two cameras, two 12 megapixel cameras in this beautiful design. As you can see, it has the home button. It was one of the last flagship iPhones to have a home button, as you can see. And the newest iOS that this phone can handle is iOS 16, no more or no less. So let's talk about the phone specs. So Apple made a 64 gigabyte version, a 128 gigabyte version, and a 256 gigabyte version of the iPhone 8 Plus. Right here, this model that we have is a 64 gigabyte version. It's a lower model. So yeah, it's not the best. This has a 5.5 inch LCD screen. This has no OLED. This was before Apple even started to put OLED screens on their iPhones. It does have 3D touch, so as you can see, it's pretty fast, pretty responsive. Like as you can see, you light press it, it takes a long time. If you like force press it, it gives you the reaction immediately. The chip is a A11 Bionic chip, and it's a 6-core CPU. The CPU is 2 performance and 4 efficiency ones. And there's a 3-core GPU, and it has a neural engine. The cameras for these phones is a 12 megapixel both. The video recording can do 4K up to 60 FPS. It can do 1080p at 60 FPS and 720 at 30 FPS. Has of course optimal image stabilization only for video. 2 times zoom in, digital zoom up to 6x for only the iPhone 8 Plus, of course, which is this one right here. We also have a 7 megapixel camera, 1080p, that can record up to 30 FPS. Of course, it has a fingerprint sensor, and this can do LTE Advanced 16 and 4G with 4G and Wi-Fi 5. So this is only a 4G and LTE phone, so you're not going to be getting the newest 5G stuff and all this type of stuff that your carrier supports. This will only do 4G or LTE, which most of the time it will most likely get LTE on these iPhones. Now for the iPhone 8 design, it's pretty thin. It's a nice thin phone. As you can see, we got the SIM card, the power button, the 2 volume buttons, and the switch, the vibration switch. And yeah, you get this nice color back glass, which is, we got the red one right here, of course. And like I said, this phone can only go up to iOS 16. Let me get this thing to focus, if I can get this thing to focus. So as you can see, this only goes up to iOS 16.7.15, the newest iOS update. It will still get patch updates and security updates, but I'm not too sure how long Apple will actually give security updates and patch updates for this phone, since it's been a while. iOS 16 came out back in 2022, and I can't tell you guys what is going to be how much more longer Apple will release software for this phone. Now of course we got a 64 gigabyte version, but you might not be here for that. You just want to know if it can handle games, apps, social media. That's basically all. Mostly people use these phones nowadays. This phone isn't gonna be a powerhouse. It's not gonna be having full power like the new iPhones that have, like, you know, a bunch of processes and stuff like that. But before we talk about the power, we must talk about the price when this phone came out. So when this phone originally came out, Apple originally released the 64 gigabyte model for $799, and I only have actually the the two prices here. Actually, I don't have the 128, but I got the 64 for $7.99 and the 256 for $9.45. The release date was September 22nd. I mean 22 of 2017. With the launch, the same launch, Apple did release the iPhone X, which was released in November 2017, launched at the starting price of $999 for the 64 gigabyte model, and the 256 gigabyte model is $1,149. So yeah, so now that we have gotten through all that stuff, we're going to be talking about performance. How does this phone handle the performance? How does this handle new games, new apps in today's era? So I'm not going to be comparing this phone to any other phones. I mostly do that in the camera test, but the camera test is not going to be put for this one because the camera has been replaced about 2 times. The original camera was bad. It was actually broken. This whole back housing was broken until I switched the housing. And the camera was broken, so I replaced it once. The camera was bad. I thought it was a camera lens. I replaced it again, and it wasn't the camera lens. Turns out it was just the camera that was bad quality, and the camera, it doesn't really look that good quality. I'm going to be showing you some shots, but they're not going to be the best shots. I can show you a shot of my original iPhone 8. This is the base model iPhone 8. If this rose, it captures the photo very nicely. Again, it's an iPhone 8. It was taken off an iPhone 8 back in like 2021. So yeah, but let's just go away from that, and let's start first off with YouTube. How does this YouTube app work? So as you can see, we're signed into YouTube, and it does take a little bit to load the app, but overall, once we start scrolling, it's kind of sluggish. It's a little bit sluggish, but of course we shouldn't be expecting the fastest performance of an iPhone on this. So let's watch the Moto G Play review. Let's watch that. This is a review, what I think. So, hey guys, today, the speakers are a bit busted on this one. This phone right here, the Moto G Play 2023. If you hear a fan in the background, I'm very sorry about that. It can on 1080p. Vegas here, and it gets really hot. Last video with the iPhone unboxing the 16e, that video, the room got legit kind of very hot. And it works nicely. It has no problems of the playback. So yeah, I guess I'll give that a pass. Shorts, let's actually mute this. Shorts, it does pretty well in. I mean, you're not going to be scrolling like crazy. You're going to be watching a video and yeah, it's loading, watching video, scroll, watching video, scroll, watching a video, scroll. And that's basically what you're going to be doing most of the day. Now let's go to TikTok and see if the TikTok app can handle. So we're going to scroll, watching the video, scroll, watching the video, scroll, watching the video, scroll, watching the video, scroll. You're not going to be really like watching the video like that. You're going to be mostly watching the video, and then you're going to be looking at the comments and like, oh yeah, this yeah. So handles TikTok all right. It does handle it though. So let's go on Instagram, and yeah, Instagram handles pretty nicely. So what if we just start doing that crazy scrolling that I did with the iPhone XR? We're going to be doing that crazy scrolling like we did on the iPhone XR, and it seems like it's handling, but you're of course not going to be going that crazy. You're going to be scrolling like this. You're going to be scrolling, and yeah, so it handles, of course, pretty simple stuff. Of course, this can then do all that kind of stuff. Now, it could handle social media, shopping, and browsing. Of course, if it can handle those apps, it can probably handle shopping and stuff like that, and all the basic iPhone apps. So yeah, next up is going to be Geometry Dash, which is going to be the first tier of the, I guess, games. We're going to be doing the first level, and of course it handles this very nicely. because this game is a pretty old game. Literally, people were playing this on the iPhone 4 when it first came out. iPhone 5, iPhone 4. But as you can see, it handles smoothly. I don't have audio on because I'm gonna get copyright if I put the audio of this game in my video, and I died, so I suck. But anyways, next up is Minecraft. Now, we could have tried Roblox, of course, but I feel like the little bit of process here is going to be less handling between. I'm gonna pick a game on Roblox, which requires a little bit more power, not too much. So yeah. So we're gonna be just trying first offline, see what happens offline. So yeah. So as you can see, I was playing here a little, but it handles Minecraft good. It handles it decently. This is I downloaded the game and I did not switch anything. I did not switch any of the graphics. It automatically set the graphics by itself. The only thing I did was basically just change the UI to classic and added this plus thing, and well, okay, I got stuck. So yeah, but it does handle it pretty nicely. Nothing too crazy though. So yeah, this is Minecraft's shader pack, the vibrant visuals. This is what they use for shaders now, I guess, since Bedrock Edition did not have any shaders. Minecraft decided to add their own shaders not too long ago, actually. But yeah, this handles the newest version of Minecraft. This still gets updated to the newest version of Minecraft. So if you play Minecraft, this phone will update to the newest version of Minecraft. For now, I'm not too sure what's the minimum requirements for Minecraft. I think the minimum requirement is iOS 12. I'm not sure if that has changed. But as you can see, it does handle it, just that it's kind of a little laggy. FPS drop is a lot noticeable. The FPS has dropped a lot. The FPS drop is crazy. You can noticeably tell. And yeah, it has gotten worse. So it can't handle vibrant visuals performance, but yeah. But this is like an older device, and of course, let's go on the Hive and see how this phone handles the Hive. This is basically the online play test, and let's see how this phone handles the online play test. Based on my off camera recording, it's alright. As long if you adjust some of the settings and stuff, it should be able to handle it. But it does lag frequently when you're in like a game or something that you're playing. So yeah, as you can see, it's lagging a bit here. Now, of course, we shouldn't expect the newest performance on this phone because it's an older phone that came out, I think 10 years ago now, 9 years ago. Like, I don't know, I forget. No, so it's actually 9 years ago this phone was released. Let's go in a quick match of Murder Mystery, and as you can see, this is where this game starts lagging. And that's when you start realizing the frame rate drop. If you probably adjust the settings, the render distance, the chunks it loads, it should handle it. But again, let's not expect the best, like, newest performance that like a 17 Pro Max will handle. This is like an older phone that won't be able to handle all those crazy stuff, but it does handle it. As you can see, we're playing Minecraft online in the murder mystery match. So yeah. Alright, next up is Roblox. The test that I really like to put on these phones is Greenville. The battery has not dropped like crazy on this phone too, even though the battery health is at 85%. Let's not use voice chat. Again, the problems off of these phones most likely that have, they're most likely the battery sucks on these older iPhones. That's mostly one of the problems with these phones, is most likely battery. the old owner has not replaced the battery, and you might need to replace the battery if you get one of these iPhone 8 Plus, which depending if you go to a repair shop or not, if you replace it yourself, then it's going to be depending on what type of battery you get. As you can see, Greenville, it's lagging, but if it handles Greenville, then it most likely can handle most of like the basic games that Roblox has. So let's pull out the truck. As you can see, the frame rate drop is crazy. I think this phone has 3 gigabytes of RAM. What I heard, either 4 or 3. This phone has. I might have to double check on that. But as you can see, if it's playable, so not really that playable. So let's go to manual and let's put this all the way down and see what will happen. So yeah, it's struggling, but it's kind of playable. But if you play like those less like obby games most likely, or just basic games, it should be able to handle it. It's handling a lot more better though after I change it to manual. Of course, we're on the wrong side of the road like last test that we were doing this. But yeah, it is handling pretty nicely. Not nicely, but it is handling the game. So it should handle most of those obby games. Now the last game that we're going to be trying is Asphalt. Legit, Asphalt has rebranded their game so many times. I don't know what name it is, but we're just gonna call it Asphalt 9 because this thing still appears under Asphalt 9. This game has gone through so many rebrandings. I can't even tell you guys what name this game has, but we're of course on the first few levels. So yeah. So I don't know if Asphalt is a really demanding game, but I've seen a lot of people play this game, and honestly, it's one of my favorite car games out right now, at the moment. So yeah, I've been playing this since they originally called the Asphalt 9. I'm pretty I don't know why Asphalt really changed this to a different name. They had so many rebrandings of this game name, so I can't really tell you guys. But as you can see, it is handling the game. Gosh, I get it. I know how to play this game. I already done 3 levels and this thing is still telling me how to play the game. I'm pretty sure I didn't even get this much of advice when I first got the game on a few years ago. So yeah, but as you can see, we're gonna win the race, of course. Boom, we won the race. So overall performance, it's a solid 7 out of 10 for performance. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It does handle the games, depending on what game you play. It does handle social media and stuff like that. So I'll give it that. Now the camera test, I might take a couple photos here and there, but it's just gonna be around my area, since the camera's garbage. I mean, this thing has different cameras. I mean, it looks the main camera looks actually decent, but when you zoom in, that's when it doesn't focus when you zoom in and stuff. So yeah, here's my rating. Do I recommend this phone in 2026? As a daily person's phone, depending on who's using it, I will mostly recommend it as again a first kid's phone. I guess a kid could use this phone. I mean, yeah, kids do play a lot of games, but they don't need to necessarily be on their phone 24/7 playing that same game. So this could be a pretty decent phone just to call, text, go on social media. As you can see, it handles social media perfectly. So yeah, this could be a first kid's phone or a backup phone. This is a pretty decent backup phone if you have one of these. As a main phone nowadays, If you're on a budget, if you're on a budget and don't really care about the gaming performance and just care about if you get calls or messages, maybe a little bit of social media, this would be decent enough for you to handle. You know, coming from an older iPhone or Android or something. If you're coming from an iPhone 6 that has like iOS 12, I know some people still use those phones. If Apple release an update for FaceTime, people still definitely use those phones. So you can probably go to one of these iPhone 8s and it will probably be decent. I mean, the iPhone 8 Plus and the iPhone 8, the regular 8, they should be the same performance. Even probably the iPhone X probably has the same performance. I mean, it has the same 18 Bionic chip, so it should handle the same performance as all the devices that were released at the time. But yeah, this phone is a pretty special phone. I really like this phone because it was the last phone with flagship with a home button. The SE was a mid-range for people who don't know. The SE was for basically a cheaper model. This was like an actual flagship that came out aside with the iPhone X. So yeah, that's for what I recommend. If you're looking more something more different, I would honestly recommend more like an iPhone XR or maybe an iPhone 11. If you like a cracked iPhone 11, you don't really care, because that has a little bit more better performance. The iPhone XR was doing much more better performance, but yeah, that's on only recommend a first kid's phone, a backup phone, or if you're on a really tight budget and trying to upgrade from an older Android or iPhone. This is your choice right here. The most that I recommend spending on this iPhone is most likely $100, and that's just being nice, like the screen not being cracked, the back glass being not cracked too, the battery's in the right percentage, like around 80. If it's lower than 80, don't buy it because it's not really worth it. You can probably buy an XR and have better performance and 3 or more years of iOS updates, because that one got I think 2 more years of iOS updates, because that one got iOS 18. This one got only to 16, so I got 2 more extra years. But yeah, so that's my recommendation. It really is on the user. I'm 100 to I guess 50 if you're like, if you find a phone even that costs $50, one of these phones for $50, these usually go up pretty expensive still, and they're honestly not the best phone out, like the best cheap phone right now. You can get like an XR, so yeah. But if you can get these for cheap, then I'll pick one up. If I was on an iPhone, 6S, 7, it's almost like an iPhone 7. You're just missing out that 1 extra year of software. If you want that 1 extra year of software, I would just rather get an iPhone 10 instead if you're wanting Face ID, because you'll get Face ID at least with that one, and you get some extra features. But yeah, that's my recommendation. But anyways, that's basically all for this video. I hope you guys liked this video. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.